Episode 17 is just a follow-up video to look at what Sully and I caught and maybe do a little bit of the economics on doing a fishing trip.
Hey, is Dave there?
So I thought I'd do a short video about kind of a follow-up to the fishing trip, let's say, because, and I wish I had, but I didn't, talk about and video how I clean the fish and vacuum seal it and put it in the freezer, because that's important. You don't want to waste anything. So what we did is we had 2 days of fishing, and then after the first day of fishing for salmon, we packed the salmon with some dry ice. We picked up dry ice in Victoria and put it in one of our coolers, so the salmon went in the bottom, a layer of good heavy paper bags, and then the dry ice on top, and then sealed it up. And that froze that fish super hard, and there was even dry ice left over for the next day. And then what we did also, of course, is transport the fish in a way that made them more robust or better for travel, and that is we only headed and gutted the fish. We didn't have Ron do any filleting, so we had all these fish that were packed that are just headed and gutted, and their skins and whatnot were all on them, other than he did fillet the halibut for us. We bagged these up, and then we repacked the coolers with a bit of ice on the bottom, made sure the fish was well bagged and isolated so the water, if the ice melted, the water wouldn't get into the meat, and then brought them home. And then I did all the food prep at home. So what I do is I go through with a very sharp knife and fillet things after that, and then back seal it. So we did very well. People probably wonder, is there any economics in going out fishing like this? And I think if you're in Victoria or Sook and you have a good fishing day, sure. But with all the travel and other costs, it isn't. What we came back with was around 15 to 20 pounds of halibut, 15 pounds of salmon, and about 12 pounds or 15 pounds of black cod. So when you do the math on that, they're all premium fish. There's quite a bit of value there. So you want to make sure that you vac seal things up, you clean it up, you fillet it properly, and you get it stored away so that you can enjoy this bounty for the rest of the year. One of the other things we're going to do is look at, can we get more value out of the fish? And that is in the next little clip here, so take a look.
So as part of this video, we're going to do a bit of an experiment. I spent all of yesterday cleaning up the fish that Sully and I caught, and what I realized is that these fish collars with the pectoral fin have a lot of meat on them. So what I'm doing is and I've done this with walleye in the past, kind of a similar thing, and that is to clean them up, take all the scales off them, and then you fry them up. You eat them kind of like chicken wings. So the experiment is, can you do it with salmon or black cod? I've got a whole bunch of these that feel like they would be wasted meat if we didn't try and use them. So today we're going to do a bit of experiment. I'm going to clean them, take the scales off, and then I'm going to air fry some up, and we're going to try them out. So that is the experiment. See if we can be a little more efficient about some of the fish that we harvest. We want to use as much of the fish as you can, and the skin is always a very good part of the fish that gets wasted. So by taking the scales off of this fine meat and air frying it, and I may need to do some cleanup on the bottom, we're going to see if they're edible.
So here's the end result. You've got 10, what I'll say, collars or fins, and a bunch of belly meat, which is also, certainly edible and doesn't tend to come out on the fillet. So I saved that and also taken all the scales off. Now what I did do is also a secondary experiment. Here's 2 of them here. And this one has what we would call a bit more of the silver skin on it, which is, probably just collagen and connective tissue. So we're going to try one with that unaltered, and then I peeled this one. And simply all I did was take a paper towel, and I do this with ribs as well, and grab onto it and just peel off some of this inner tissue. So we'll see how that goes as well. So here we are with one of the experiments. So here are the fish collars, the ones I fried in butter in the cast iron pan. And then I thought I would do a second experiment, and that's the air fryer. So this took about 12 minutes in the air fryer to crisp it up. And I wanted to get crispy skin because I think that's part of the appeal of this. So first experiment is to try the one with the connective tissue, and you'll see there's a couple of bones in here I'm going to pull out, and we'll give it a whirl. So can it be eaten? And there is a hard bit here, but there's lots of good meat in there. And I can taste connective tissue a little bit, but maybe not taste it, but it's there from a texture standpoint. And the one where I took the connective tissue out, it's got a little nicer texture. So I would say definitely you just got to paper towel the connective tissue out. But what I see here is that it's not as crispy as I wanted. They're still fairly oily. Salmon is an oily fish, but absolutely edible. And what you'll find as you eat this is that main bone comes out. And what you end up with is kind of like a chicken wing. So here's the gill plate. And then there's a flat pectoral bone. I'm just taking some of the meat off because it's wonderful. And you have this. There's only 2 bones, really. So super easy to eat and definitely worth it. You can see I still have lots of meat here. Like chicken wings, they're a bit greasy. So let's try the stomach meat. And with the skin on, it's really good. As I expected, it's some of the best part of the fish. It's the most tender. It has a little bit of extra fat in it. It's super good. So that's a win all the way. Now, let's move over to the air fryer and see if it does a better job. Now, I did 2 different fish again, so I'm only going to use the salmon. As you can see, it's nice and crispy. And it's crunchy. So texture-wise, and I didn't take the skin off, the connective tissue off it. Texture-wise, it's way better. You got a nice crunchy skin. It tastes better. There's one little bone there. You do have to be careful. There might be a few rib bones stuck in there, but with the air fryer at 390, and it was about 12 minutes to get a nice kind of browny crisp texture, it's perfect. And then when you look at some of the small belly meat, this one crisped up almost like a chip. And that was actually black cod. And look at this one, a little piece of meat that crisped up. It's very good. Now, the second experiment is just to try the black cod to see if it does eats as well as the salmon. And it's different taste, of course. Black cod's a very nice light fish, but it eats terrific as well. So it turns out, I think the air fryer is the way to go. These are absolutely worth saving. The stomach meat is, or the belly meat is really good. So if you want to do a little bit more with your catch, you can cut these gill plates and pectoral fins, what I call collars, and fry them up in the air fryer, and you'll get a nice meal just out of those. So from a food perspective, you might be asking, is it worth it? And so I thought I would show you everything that we got from our trip. So that's 2 days with a boat, $900. That includes tip. And this is the total amount. There is a little bit missing in the black cod and the crab standpoint because Sully took some with him. He's already gone back to school. But roughly what you're seeing is about 15 pounds of salmon and about 15 pounds of halibut. And somewhere a little under 15 pounds of black cod. Those are the collars that we experimented with. And of course some crab, and there's another 3 packs of crab. So when you think about that all in its entirety, there's in a range of 40 to 45 pounds of what we call premium fish. Black cod, halibut, and salmon, especially coho salmon, that are wild, all command a premium price. And then crabs, well, they're just plain fun. They're a lot of work to me, but we took them anyway. One thing to note about crabs is, and this is important too, is you'll see that they're already red. So you've got to boil them before you freeze them. And we'll go through that. So you'll see the crab, it's been cooked. And that, to my understanding, is the right way to do it. You cook it for 12 minutes. You boil it in salt water for 12 minutes. And then you can freeze it. And the reason for this is, as soon as the crab dies, it starts to deteriorate. So you can have unwanted bacteria, and the meat itself gets less edible. So these have been
boiled and frozen, and then when you pull them out of the freezer, basically you steam them. You put them on a cookie sheet with a little bit of water, maybe cover them with a tin foil, you bring them back up to temperature. They're already ready to go. If you were going to put them into a pasta, you would just break them up, take the meat out, maybe give it a quick fry with some butter to add some warmth and flavor to it, and then you could put it in. But that's how you prepare and freeze crab.
As I said, just a short video to look at the economics of fishing and how to get maybe just a little bit more value out of the fish you catch. Now, we did have a few videos on eating the salmon roe itself. We did save the salmon roe, but unfortunately it got lost. And maybe that's for the better. The salmon roe was okay to eat even when it was cured, but not my favorite. On our next episode, we'll go for a winter hike out in the mountains.
Please like and subscribe if you want to keep the adventures rolling.
Dave's not home, man.